Is the Pixel 8 Pro about to be dethroned? And if so, it could be the shortest reign in the history of smartphone technology. So, the biggest thing here with the Pixel 8 Pro that's supposed to set it apart from all the other phones are the AI capabilities. Of course, we have the Google Tensor G3, and we just got, of course, the Gemini Nano AI that can influence certain things like smart replies and also summarizations of the Recorder app conversations. So, we've got AI stuff. Google's had AI stuff for a while, but Interstage left. This is the S23 Ultra, but this is the predecessor. This is the dumb version of what we're going to expect with the S24 Ultra. So, funny thing, when the S23 Ultra came out, there was no real talk about AI. It was just an afterthought. It's something that people talked about with relation to like computational photography, using it for enhanced night mode shots and things like that, where it worked with the camera, but not so much anything else. Like nobody was really talking about it. And then really the AI conversation got started in a big way shortly after this phone came out. So if you take a look at the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, it's not otherworldly more powerful than the 8 Generation 2, but the big thing that Qualcomm and a lot of other manufacturers have doubled down on is the capacity for the processor to handle more AI tasks. It needs a lot of power. I talked to somebody today, actually, with Qualcomm. I'm filming here on location in the Luxor. I'm here for CES 2024. And I was talking to a Qualcomm executive today, and they wanted to know my thoughts on some of the new things that are out. And I told them I was very curious to see how the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 performs with the Samsung phone, because this is going to be it. This is going to be the big litmus test. And I talked about this in a Samsung Galaxy video the other day, saying it's either going to show up or it's not, because we have the existing AI capabilities here that we've been talking about that the Pixel 8 Pro is capable of doing, and it does some pretty cool things. Some people think it's gimmicky. Some people think it's, oh, I don't really use a whole lot of that stuff. But on the whole, I think most people look at this and I didn't coin this phrase. A lot of people call it the smartest smartphone because of all the smart capabilities it has and the AI that's built into it. But that might be short-lived. And we're still waiting on some of this stuff. We're still waiting on Bard to show up. Like, when is Bard going to get here? I know they said it's going to be early 2024. Here we are, 2024. It's not here yet. My guess is we'll probably get it during the quarterly feature drop in February. And that would probably be an okay time, but it's going to show up after the S24 Ultra comes out. And the S24 Ultra is going to come out guns a-blazing. Like, this is something where the whole identity for this phone, from all the marketing and branding we've seen so far, is AI, AI, AI. AI for everyone, smart AI, Samsung AI. Like, they are trying to brand themselves as the AI smartphone. But the AI smartphone already exists in the form of the Google Pixel 8 Pro. So what do we do here? And what's going to happen to Google if they get shown up at their own game? That's what's at stake here. If Samsung shows up and they do it better than the smartest smartphone, and Google has been touting all their AI features for so long, and that's the whole purpose behind the Tensor. And a lot of folks are critical of the Tensor, and rightfully so in some ways, but a lot of folks, I think, would say that they would prefer that Google use a Qualcomm chipset, because the Snapdragons are doing so good, especially with the 8 Generation 2, the 8 Generation 3, so good in battery life, so good in power performance, so good with heat. They're just really, really good. And they have a great modem too, probably just about the best in the business, whereas those are some criticisms here. And there were also a lot of criticisms with the Pixel 8 Pro, where a lot of their advanced AI features are not done on the phone. They're done off-site. It starts on here, and then it goes off to Google's server. So if the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 and the S24 Ultra can do all that on the phone, then that's going to be a leg up over Google. Then two, the other conversation is generative AI. And a lot of folks think that there might be some generative capabilities in AI that can be done on the S24 Ultra. Now, generative AI, a lot of people equate this with ChatGPT, where you can type it in something and it creates something, or it makes something for you. You can't really do that with the Pixel. We're believing it's supposed to get that capability with Bard, but Bard is not here yet, and Bard might also not be exclusive. I was looking at an article back from October saying that the first 3 phones to get Bard on the phone would be the Pixel 8 series, and then it would be the S23 and the S24 series. So if Bard shows up and it's on the Pixel and it's on the S24 Ultra, what's the reason really to go buy a Google Pixel phone? If you get the smart AI features, if you have the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, if you have Bard, Like, why? Like, why do you need this phone, right? I mean, I know we like how fast the shutter speed is. We like the computational photography. We like the processing. We like some of the smart features that Google does when they implement that with their smartphone. Of course, the call assistant technology is a godsend, especially these days, because I am so sick when I don't use this phone of getting all these stupid spam calls and spam voicemails all the stinking time. It makes me really happy to press the button and screen the call to be able to troll the trolls who are frustrating my existence. So, I mean, there are a lot of reasons I think to still consider the Google Pixel 8 Pro. I'm just curious because Google doesn't have a big market share, and their big thing is supposed to be they're the smartest smartphone on the block, and of course they get 7 years of updates. That might be a gray area because I think that most Samsung customers are pretty happy with already the 4 years of operating system updates and the 5 years of security patches that Samsung's giving. I'd like to see them go to 5 and 5. I don't think they're going to go to 7. I think even Samsung probably believes that's far-fetched. And not saying that in 7 years, if you buy one of these and it's new or relatively lightly used, that it won't make phone calls, it won't send text messages, it won't do basic things. But case in point, take a look at the Pixel 7 Pro. Then take a look at the Pixel 8 Pro. The Pixel 7 Pro was supposed to be the smartest smartphone of 2022, and then we get the smartest smartphone of 2023, which is the Pixel 8 Pro, and basically none of those features have trickled down to the Tensor G2. What was the whole point of the Tensor G series if year over year you're not even getting the majority of the new smart features? So if you look at how much the Pixel Fold, if you look at how much the Pixel 7 Pro have been passed over for these features and these capabilities in just 1 year, how many extra features is this going to have in 7 years, much less in the year 2024 when the Pixel 9 series comes out? Google needs to find a way to continue to pathfind. They need to find a way to move forward and create more opportunities and generate those AI capabilities, but they need to have some of that trickle down and pass through their older phones, because what's the point of having a phone that's supported for 7 years if you're not getting new stuff, right? If it's going to be exactly like it is or very close to that in performance and capabilities 7 years later, why hold on to it for like what real value is there in having this phone for 7 years, right? So I think Google needs to address those questions, and I'm curious to see what the answers are to my question in the beginning. Will the Google Pixel 8 Pro be dethroned? And I think it's quite possible. And it would show if the S24 Ultra shows up and it does AI better than the Pixel 8 Pro. That right there is basically a death sentence for the Tensor chipset. Because why did Google go through all this trouble to have this customized chipset if the stock chipset from Qualcomm can come in and poop all over it, right? In reality, it just shows that why does that even matter? And then if the S24 series gets barred along with the Pixel 8 Pro, why does this matter? Is it better? And then if Samsung AI itself, if they revamp Bixby, if they come up with generative AI and these other things, they could very quickly make people look at this Pixel 8 Pro and be like, this isn't the smartest smartphone. Why does this phone matter? And why did I spend all this money on this phone? So those are going to be some interesting questions that are going to get answered very, very, very soon. And I'm interested in it because, of course, well, AI is kind of the immediate future for where we're headed with these phones and what's going to happen with them. So it'll be very interesting to see. But for now, that's the question I leave you with. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Also, I apologize for the lesser video quality than normal. I'm recording here in my room. So I've had a lot of things going on with life recently. I couldn't record 5 videos before I left, but this was a meaningful topic that I was thinking about today, and I want to talk about. The CES show floor is not open yet. I might have some CES information to bring to y'all tomorrow, whenever I get there, because I'm going to go walk on the show floor tomorrow, see what new cool things they have, try and forge some new relationships, keep other relationships I have going well, and just see what cool new things that we can get for the year. I'm going to talk to Lenovo. I'm going to talk to some other brands, maybe try and get a laptop or two this next year. I talked to somebody about a robot lawnmower. Like, who doesn't want to see a video on a robot lawnmower, right? So I'm interested in that. I talked to Eufy today. Probably going to get some more of their smart home technology. They've got some cool new cameras, upgraded doorbell, and there's just a couple brands that I talked to today that I'm kind of interested in working with this year to bring some stuff that maybe y'all might like to see other than just me talking about phones all the time, because, well, what kind of a Tech Odyssey channel would I be if I didn't depart from the normal and go off and cover some other stuff, right? So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button. and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.